Are you going mushroom or am I supposed to?
I was waiting for the cue.
Oh, sorry. My brain literally
I'll go.
Oh
Okay.
my fucking god. Okay, sorry.
I'll go.
Okay, I'll go. Hello. Welcome back to Umineko. What?
Smoking room.
Okay, smoking room. Okay, Des, please go. My brain has the whole time we're sitting here, I was thinking about how I should close my window because I can hear a lawnmower outside.
Hello, visitors of our channel. Yes, I am changing my fucking opening because it was getting kind of cringe. But hello, I am Des, and hi, I am here with Mushroom. Is she still opening the window / closing? She probably is. Okay, we'll just scrap this part and do it all over again when she's here.
Oh my god, I would love to have heard what you just said, but I literally just walked away to close my goddamn window.
You will never know.
It's a mystery.
It's forever closed in the cat box. Lerf, do not.
I won't reveal what happens in the cat box stays in the cat box.
Okay, amazing. Do we already do introductions?
I'll do it again. I will do it again. Hello, welcome to the smoking room. I am Des, and I am here with...
Hello, this is Mushroom, your friendly neighborhood mushroom, who's also dying from COVID. We'll get to that later.
And I'm Lerf.
Yeah. So, Lerf is a friend of Mushroom.
Yeah.
Mushrooms. I forgot the apostrophe S. Anyway, that got invited for this episode because me and Mushroom really wanted to talk about recent fandom events, but we needed a third a third host, and none of our friends were especially interested in doing an episode about this. So Mushroom was
and
like,
they're all wrong.
yes,
They're all wrong.
fuck them. And Mushroom was like, yeah, I know a person.
I know a person who like basically obsessively watched the stage play just like I did. So we should just get them
First
on.
time we ever got like in call together and actually talked, we just started streaming the stage play and watched the Child Abuse scene.
Yes, we did. We just straight went for the Child Abuse scene because that's an iconic.
Iconic. Skipped past everything else and then we went back and watched the full thing pretty much.
Okay, so do you want to reveal to the audience how many times you have watched it?
At least like 5 or 6.
Damn.
Yeah, I think I watched it 4 times or 3 times. I think at least. I think I watched it like 3.5. I have sat on like my room, my friend's couch watching the whole thing. I've sat on calls. It's so good. I don't know. I could just keep watching it. I don't know what to say.
It's so good. In my defense, I was showing my friends it, so it's not like I was sitting alone in my home watching the Umineko stage play on repeat.
Before we get further, this episode is gonna have Umineko spoilers. If it ends up having any more spoilers, we'll tell you when it happens, but for now it's just Umineko spoilers. And the 3 things we're gonna be discussing here are obviously the stage play, but also our place, which happened and we still have not discussed it.
I feel like 1,000 years has passed by since the last time we talked about anything in general.
Yes. And also, we are gonna discuss our guesses as to what will be revealed at the end of Golden Week. Because in case you aren't in the know, 7th Expansion tweeted about the fact that they are gonna reveal some stuff at the end of Golden Week. Is it Ciconia Phase 2? We'll get to it.
It's probably gonna be more Higurashi anime.
Yeah. We'll get to it.
They adapt the new manga.
No!
Oh, yes. They adapt the phone game into like a chibi series.
Oh, that'd be kind of cute, actually.
No.
Well, it would be a shitpost, so...
The only thing I love about the phone game, I know we're a little bit jumping the gun, but I want to talk about this, but... So, I was kind of curious, so I went to I went to Lambda Delta, like, YouTube to watch some of the cutscenes in the game. The only ones I watched was the one, like, Angie was in, and then, of course, the one Erica was in. And it's funny. I like the one that Angie was in because, like, it actually does, like, acknowledge the fact that Angie's like, oh, God, like, these are my, like, cousins, or am my sibling, and they don't know who I am. And, like, cries. She runs outside, cries, because she knows that they're gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Just wait until Umineko Go gets announced, and then she's having a party with her dead family, but everybody is on bikinis, and she's So fun.
Oh,
yes,
no.
I certainly want.
Angie's personal hell.
I certainly want them to touch Umineko. Okay, stage play then.
No, I was gonna say, do you want to talk about anything personal or no? Nothing personal.
Nothing personal, kid. Shoots mushroom. Like, do you mean like to do like a small review of what we've been doing?
Yeah, I feel like we haven't talked to anybody for like 40,000 years.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Lerf in 21 years.
It's funny because Lerf and I, okay, so the thing is, I'll give some background of like, so I started talking to Lerf in the server for ADPR. It's just a funny time because what happens in that server is that one person starts talking about like, ooh, this is some cool points you brought up, and somebody's gonna reply to it in like spoiler text, and then sooner or later everybody's replying in spoiler text. So it just looks like some crazy CIA paper when you click into it.
We don't even like full spoiler text though. Like we'll go like yeah, and then like afterwards just go full like spoiler like blockage. So it's just like huge chunks of blank text and like oh my god, yes, so true.
Yeah, keep them guessing.
Yeah. And it's like incredibly funny. So that's how Lerf and I start talking a lot. And then there was one day we were just like talking in the server, and I was talking about like, oh my god, I love going on Reddit to read horrible Umineko takes. And we just did like screenshots of horrible Umineko takes. Like
We started bonding over a shared hobby of suffering on the Umineko subreddit.
yeah, and I was like, you know what? We're like, we are literally the same person. We should just talk. And then that's how we start watching the stage play.
Yeah, I had bought tickets so I had access to stream it live.
Yeah,
Oh.
and it was 1080p. It was very good 1080p footage instead of the other one that was first uploaded.
I didn't know it was streamed live.
Yeah, they had a live stream and then that was up for like a week or two.
What?
Yeah, how do you think people were able to get a recording of it? That's like nobody fucking holds like
Yeah, that's true.
like it's because
Multiple like people came into the play with their phones.
Oh fuck! I would have wanted to pay for the tickets.
the tickets was $50, so 50 US dollars. I think it would be slightly cheaper if it was like euro. Maybe it's like
Yeah, it's about the same.
I paid like 40-ish bucks for it.
yeah.
Me and my friends all chipped in because we realized it was out, and I have like gotten them into Umineko on various degrees. And I was like, should I stream the stage play? And they're like, we'll pay you to stream it.
Well, I guess I just thought of myself as a pirate, but well,
Yeah.
I would have paid for the tickets if I knew it was possible to watch it.
It was hard to find.
It's a little bit difficult. It was quote unquote a little bit, which I mean by really difficult. There has been really useful Twitter threads about how to buy the tickets. But
Wait,
like,
so did you need to go on a quest to find these tickets that you buy online? Like what?
I did because I didn't even know that it was out until I found one of my mutuals on Instagram who draws Umineko art. They posted in their story about like the stage play, and I was like, yo, you got the stage play? And they dropped the guide for me.
What, a guide for buying tickets?
And I had to like go on a journey. I had to get my friend to buy it for me because they wouldn't accept visas from the US. So we had to like get my friend with
Yeah.
a MasterCard to do it.
Yeah, because it's a Japanese website and they don't take a lot of Visa cards. That's one of the reasons why you can't buy Japanese Nintendo games, because they're just like, excuse me, it's a foreign card. And I'm like, bitch, this is a travel card. I could use it anywhere. They're like, no, actually, you can't.
Damn. Fuck, it's almost as hard as solving the epitaph. God damn.
It was. I had to go down the Sweetfish River, found the beloved home of old. It was, it was rough.
Yeah, shout out to the person who made a really helpful guide on Twitter, who basically had to rewrite the whole thing. I think there's also a limited ticket amount even for the live version.
For a live stream?
Yeah, I think so.
What the fuck?
I didn't hear about that, but I'm fucking lucky if that's the case.
I forgot if that's true, but like I know like lots and lots of people wanted to order the drama. Lots of people I know wanted to order the DVD for the stage play, and like that is also a can of worms. Like people had such a fucking hard time like buying anything because
Do they not want money? Do they not want money? What is this?
Well, it's because they don't know that there's a huge market outside of Japan. Because, like, you know, could you imagine, like, a bunch of fucking people from all over the world trying to order from a tiny stage crew? Like
no, yeah, I get that. I get that. If it was physical, but it's a virtual medium. Like, why does that matter?
Like, it doesn't have an English website, so like people like that's why there was a guide for it, because like you're like you can't read Japanese and it doesn't have an English website. Now read this helpful Twitter guide of exactly what all the words are, and then ignore all the words that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I see.
Yeah.
Before we get really into talking about the stage play, do you want to talk about r/place first? Because that will be shorter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, did you participate in our place? Or
No, but I did witness Beatrice the Golden appear on r/place. There was like a bit of a saga about it, so I hear.
kind of.
She showed up and she got evaporated.
Okay, so I joined halfway through, so I don't know the whole story. But as far as I know, we thought we were in a safe place because we were right next to Tesla, and we were in the far corner of a big, amazing Star Wars pixel art. So, but like the Star Wars people weren't exactly interested in the corners; they were only interested in the characters, which is makes sense. So we thought we were fine, but then some random people just started nuking our Beato, and we were like, man, there's like 8 people in this fandom, we can't keep up with this. But somehow we did. We prevailed. And at the end, Beato survived after
She did?
many facial reconstructions.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't even know that Beato existed on the thing, which is the craziest part is, like, Death started telling me about r/place Beato, because I was following r/place, but I was just, like, following other artists and other stuff. And when I joined the Discord group, I got to just read, like, their earlier messages and, like, the earlier art that they suggested. I realized they actually suggested my art, like, they suggested the portrait before, and then I was like, oh, like, and now I feel really bad, like, because, like, if I knew that people were doing r/plays, like, I would have basically made a more condensed version of that, and people could have defended. And I was like, this is cool, though, like. And, like, there wasn't that many people, like, that was defending it. It was, like, around 40 people, right? Like, I don't remember. I, like, looked at the Discord. It's, like, just, like, literally that many people. Mm-hmm. And I also read through all the old messages about how, like, they changed the Beato face many times to, like, make it look better.
Yeah, we weren't sure how to go about it. Like, we weren't sure if we wanted to make it look more like the PS3 sprite or the original sprite. In the end, it ended up being the OG. But then we also weren't sure what facial expression to make, because Beato is just so iconic in so many of her sprites. And then we also had a limited space, limited pixels, so it was kind of like, fuck, this eye isn't looking good. And now it's the bangs, and now it's the smile. It was never perfect, but, we kept trying, and I think we managed to.
I think it looked really cool in the end.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad she lived.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad that she lived until the very end. Until, like, the whole world went white.
Until the whole world.
Last I had heard about her, she was, like, being, like, disintegrated by the white void, and everyone was like, no, rest in peace, my beloved Beatrice.
Yeah, okay, no, I'll have to tell you about the finale. So, first of all, I didn't know what was going to happen in finale. I guess I just thought the time would run out and everything would get, like, preserved as it was on the final moments. I didn't know everybody would just start only being able to place white pixels until nothing was left. But then it started happening and everybody was like, oh no, I guess this is it. And people started posting links to sad Umineko music, and then we started playing it as we texted all our sadness out, but also our happiness at our accomplishment. People were posting Ricordando il passato, people were posting rain, it was a whole experience, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure, like, the whole only placing white blocks is, like, their way of basically punishing people who have been using bots, because, like, it's easier to stop, like, I don't know, 100 people or just, like, even 1,000 people if they're all just placing blocks themselves, but, you could see that, like, the only thing you have is white. But you can't stop, like, a bot to do that, so, like, whoever is using bots is rapidly, like, killing their own artwork. That's why, like, you could see, like, lots of places immediately turned white because they were, like, defended by bots.
Damn, yeah, I hate bots. Do you want to know about the Higurashi side? No, actually, I'll tell you how I found out about what they were doing on the Umineko side. So, I was scrolling through our place, defending the Xenoblade part, defending the Ethica World Network part, getting confused as to why there were 3 Portuguese flags. Why did we do that? I don't know. But I was just scrolling through it, and then I find Rika from Higurashi. And I was like, haha, I'll do a funny and I'll color her eyes red. Haha. So I started coloring her eyes red, but then people kept coloring the eyes the correct color. And I was like, okay, I'll stop.
Wow, I can't believe Des is just out here griefing.
Just spreading the Go propaganda.
Okay, so then after I decided that was enough trolling, I was like, okay, I'll go out myself in the Higurashi subreddit and tell them I'll stop. It was just me as a funny. So I went to the Higurashi subreddit, and then I realized, oh, they are promoting the Umineko side on the Higurashi side. I guess they're doing something on the Umineko side. And that's how I found out about it. But Higurashi was not so fortunate as Umineko. But that was also because their artwork was kind of bigger. So the plan was to have all of the main cast there. And at a point, the whole cast was there. But then bots just starting fucking nuking the place. And there aren't enough people in the Higurashi community to fight it. So I think Shion got nuked, Satoshi got nuked.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Higurashi wanted to have like those small banner types. It's
Yeah.
kind of like
Just so cute.
it's like the Omori has like a banner type, but like it's smaller than that, of course. But I feel like it's really just shows you like small communities and stuff. Like I'm pretty sure like my university has 2 on it on 2
Really?
on r/place. Yeah.
Dang.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I went to check on it. It's also because like my university is of a bunch of people who have no life and only games. So yeah, r/place. Place. Shout out to everybody who worked really hard in it. Of course, like
Keep going. I'm sorry. I got excited about something.
okay. Last time r/place happened was 5 years ago, so it really depends if they're gonna bring it back next 5 years or next year or anything. I feel like this year was a huge success, but like I feel like if they wanted to keep it really like special, they might just like wait fucking forever and then do the next one. But it's fun. Like it's a good time. It's really it makes me feel like wow. I'm glad that there's so good Umineko fans out there, whatever that fucking means.
It's a nice thing to do as a community. Like, I didn't know this was a thing until it started happening. Matter of fact, it was Anon who informed us that it was a thing and that it was happening. So, thank you, Anon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really funny because r/place is such a big deal, but like I just didn't even think Umineko was gonna be on at all. Like I was like, oh my god, I was like, that's actually a surprisingly coherent Beatrice face. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like people were defending something that like didn't look like intelligible or anything. Like it's a face next to Tesla. It's just funny as fuck.
Yeah, I think by the end we also had golden butterflies, which was a nice touch.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was also just gonna say, shout out to Frau Deluxe. They were there in the server and they gave us a shout out of nowhere. Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Really nice I like when people randomly link us in their server or instead of like saying that our opinions are stupid. It's good. I'm glad our opinions are not horrible for people to wanting to recommend to other Umineko or Higurashi fans.
Yeah, it made me feel good.
Yeah.
Okay, is that all we have to say about our place?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
So, should we move on to the sage play?
Let us move on to the main dish.
All right.
I wanted to basically start from, before we even watch the stage play. So, what was both of yours expectations of the stage play? Like, did you think it was going to be good? Like, I think, like, we all have seen all of the pretty, like, art, basically the cosplay
costumes.
headshots of
Yeah.
Well, me personally, yeah, I saw the headshots online. I was like, actually, this like surprisingly like looks really nice, but like nice cosplay doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be good. So I was kind of in that place where I was like hopefully optimistic, where I was like, you know what, like maybe Umineko's stage play would be all right, but up until like the moment like I like bought it, like up until the moment I started streaming it, I was kind of in the mindset of like, well, I mean, like, if I stream with my friends and it's bad, like, it's gonna be, like, a real riot. Like, we'll have, like, way too much fun, like, poking fun of it. Like, I was, like, prepared to, like, be like, oh, this part's unsolvable, and they did this, and they cut out that important detail. Like, I was ready for them to Umineko anime it. And I was very pleasantly surprised.
Nice. Well, I guess I didn't have expectations. I kind of forgot it was gonna happen until it happened, Because I guess I just subconsciously was like, how are they gonna adapt a visual novel episode into a play? They'll be there like 2 whole days performing the thing.
It's gonna be like the fucking ring cycle. Like, it's like the like Wagner's ring cycle. It's like fucking 40 hours and you just sit there and you're like, please let me leave.
Yeah. So I guess I just kind of disconnected from it. So every now and again, I'd see the costumes on my timeline. I was like, hey, that looks nice. Anyway, so yeah, and then I watched it, and I was pleasantly surprised too, even though I understood absolutely nothing of what they said. No, that's a lie. I'm enough of a whip to understand some things, but I didn't understand most of it. And it was still very enjoyable, because the physical acting, like the gestures they do and how they interpret their character and their lines was so nice, so well executed, that I actually enjoyed it a lot. It was 3 hours of not knowing what they were saying, but it was still very entertaining.
It was so fun.
Good job.
I know. I keep promising Des that I was gonna watch it with him, together. We could still watch it together eventually, but like, it is amazing when you know what they're saying. Like, I went into the stage play like the same ideas, like, like good cosplay doesn't mean anything like if you can't act. So I was like, it looks cool. Like, I wasn't convinced until somebody linked the opening version so, like, in the beginning, they use the anime opening, and I'm like, yeah, like, One Winged Eagle is the one that slaps the hardest. Sorry, like, Occulto Module and stuff like that. Like, that is the best song.
It does slap really hard.
And then I was like, oh, this is going pretty well. And then you hit the second half of the fucking opening, and then Battler screams in the fucking opening. I think I got chills, like, literal fucking chills running down my spine, and I was like, wait. This is not just hammy in a funny way. This might be actually good. Like, I was like, I think like everybody in the server who was watching at that time was like, this opening for the stage play had no right to go this hard. Like, this is going way too hard.
It really did, like, cutting the music and, like, everyone following Battler, like, stumbling up, like, that pause and the scream right before the music hits in, like, that had no reason to go that hard.
Yeah, and I was also gonna say, like, I was watching the stage play, and a thing that the stage play was able to communicate to me that somehow like the VN stopped communicating to me is the fact how devastating it is that Battler's family is all dead. Like, once you get on the Umineko brain, you're like, ooh, like, it's just happens again and again and again, like, but like in EP1, like, Battler's the only one alive. Like, you can't trust anybody, but he wants to trust everybody. And his whole family's dead. Like, that's super devastating. He looks around and, like, his family is, like, like the whole people on the islands are puppeted on, like, strings. And he's just like, what is happening? I feel like that is something that was, like, really realistically portrayed and emotionally portrayed in the stage play that, like, completely, like, stopped working effectively in the VN, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt that too. Just like the way that like the actors like reacted to like the scenarios and stuff. Like I've listened to the PS3 version. Like I've heard them go at it and they're incredible. But at some point in Umineko, you're just like, all right, let's get to the murder, baby. Like it's just it's like first Twilight, let's go.
Yeah. There's lots of things I want to talk about. For example, like the excessive amount of screaming, but we're not gonna get there yet.
Oh my god.
We'll get there.
Butler. Oh my god.
Yes. Okay. It's also crazy because the stage play is 3 hours, and thank you so much. I know people, pirating anything, blah blah blah, but like, thank you so much, whoever is the person who, I forgot what their name is, but like, who uploaded the Umineko stage play onto YouTube just to unlist it and then shared it amongst Discord groups. Thank you so much. Like, I know lots of people on Discord groups probably wouldn't have the fortune to be able to pay to, figure out, get a MasterCard to fucking pay a $50 ticket, or were fortunate enough to have a friend who can stream it to them. And I think it's great that, like, people were able to experience the stage play, without, like, too much of a hassle. Like, and it's great. It's community spirit. And I know that there's actually subtitles that's currently getting worked.
Oh, really?
Like
Really?
worked on for the Umineko. Yes.
But yeah, I just want to get into that a bit because obviously the play took a lot of effort from everybody involved, and obviously I think they all deserve to get paid for their work. But not only is it, as I just found out, extremely fucking difficult to get access to this, but also it's actually physically not available to everyone because not everyone is like an adult who can pay for what they want, right? But there are also fans who would also want to watch this. So people distributing it, like allowing for piracy to happen, in theory is wrong, but also like I can't like say don't pirate it if there are people who cannot access it otherwise.
Yeah, I know, like, people who, even though people pirated, I know, like, lots and lots of people who pirated also bought the DVDs and who are trying to order the DVDs. And also, I also know that they took down the video very fast. Like, they took down the video in, like, a week or two. And, you know, if whoever people who wanted to download it, they already have it. I have 2 versions downloaded on my computer.
2 versions.
One is around 2 gigs and the other one is around 4 gigs.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. Like, in the very beginning, I want to say I love the Greek chorus Umineko thing. I never thought about, like, Umineko would be great as a Greek chorus, but, like...
Greek chorus?
Like, having everybody... So, Des, how much of a theater fan are you?
I'd like to say I like it when I watch it, but it's not like I watch it.
Okay.
You know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Lerf, how would you describe a Greek chorus?
A Greek chorus, I feel, and I may not be getting this right. It's been a while since I've been in my high school drama club, but it's basically a bunch of characters like kind of like talking in sync and explaining like the events of the story and what is going to happen.
Okay.
So like in the beginning of the stage play, like Rudolph starts off and then everyone else like starts coming in and they're talking about how they're going to be like going to the family conference they go to every year, but like for some like reasons like that are unknown to them currently, it's going to be their last one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is, you know, really cool setup. And also, I love the fact that they, you know, stayed very true to like the starting with Rose playing in the background and having Kingzo's song, and then Kingzo screams Beatrice, and then it fucking starts the opening. Yeah.
Okay. Hot take that Kinzo could have worked a bit more on their Kinzo scream. I think
Kinzo's a rough one to pull off.
I mean, it's not hard.
Like you have to like overact extremely.
It's not hard to close your throat a bit to sound like Ginzo.
Wow, Des is out here fucking just voice coaching the Torice.
I mean, I may be wrong. I'm just a stupid guy on the internet, but like, I think it would have been possible. That's all. Like, it's just a nitpick because it looks like something that would be easy to get to perfection, and it was so close to perfection. But I mean,
I think it's just like a different interpretation thing. I was also gonna say, like, on the flip side of people who I think sound like familiar, not familiar enough, like the fucking actress for Eva, like literally feels like she just embodied the fucking voice actor. Like,
yeah. Okay, wait, wasn't Jessica's voice actress actually her voice actress though?
Was it? Let me check.
I don't know. I was just during the whole play. I was like, this has to be Jessica.
No, I don't think okay. I don't even know if anybody reprised their role.
From what I have heard, Genji reprised his role and played Genji in the play.
What?
That's just a rumor. I don't have the confirmation, but that's what I had heard.
No way. He doesn't sound like Genji.
It was either Genji or Goda. It was one of the G names.
But do you really not think that Jessica just sounds like Jessica?
No, she does.
She does, but that's not just. I'm pretty sure that is not Jessica's voice actor.
Oh my god, no way.
But also, like, she does a great job. She was like, I adore every single comical slapstick they do with Battler and Jessica.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love how like not violent they made Jessica, but you know, like they really like played up the slapstick aspect of her that comes in like only like in episode 2. So just like seeing her like deck Battler and like kick him as he like flops over, it's so good.
Yeah.
Also, Battler's actor has like fucking amazing like stunt like basically sun chops, where he like falls in the most comical way that I'm like, I don't know how you can jump fall like that. Like it's just like the most impressive thing possible.
No, he's really good at the physical stuff.
Yeah, everyone is. That's like the thing that I am the most impressed about this play is the physical stuff. Like, and especially on the first part, on the part that the play is just being a comedy. Like the comic part of the play is just absolutely perfect because of the physical acting. Everyone is so perfect doing it. Like the small details. For example, there's this part where Jessica and George are bowing to apologize for something, and then like George immediately goes head to the ground, and then Jessica is just like stops for a moment, sees George like bowing and she's like, oh shit, I should bow too, and then she bows like half a second later.
That's her and Battler.
Yeah, they're apologizing for disgracing Beatrice.
It's Battler because they're bowing to Beatrice. I remember the scene exactly. It's when Maria's like, oh, you're gonna get cursed by Beatrice now, blah blah blah. Like she's like really mad, and then George is like, okay, I guess like they're non-believers, like the blah blah, and then you can see Jessica and Battler on the corner of the screen just like immediately starts like apologizing. It's like really fun. There's so many of those.
There's so many good moments.
On the topic of things happening to the side, there's like this very small detail that like would very easily go unnoticed. They were in the dining hall, everybody sitting down and chatting, and like Eva,
The fucking table. Yeah.
She likes, throwing some punches every now and again under the rug, so that nobody really sees it, but she has her sharp tongue. And then as the ground is rotating, that's another thing, like the rotating ground, oh my god, but...
Yeah, spinning the chessboard around, baby.
You see...
It's a fucking chessboard.
But yes, as the chessboard, you could say, is rotating, you see the other side of the table, which is behind Eva. And then it's just Hideyoshi coming to Eva behind everyone, like behind the chairs, saying like, Eva, chill, like... chill.
Yeah. I love that moment. I love how Hideyoshi leans back of his chair, like trying to tap her on the shoulder, like behind. It's so, there's such amazing details in the stage play. But like, okay, so like I want to talk about in the very beginning. So what I really love about the beginning of the stage play is like how they introduce all the characters. Like, so they use the same way how the Umineko anime does it, which is like, they talk, they're in the middle of a conversation, pause, snapshot, like they explain who they are, but like it is done so much fucking better in the stage play, where it's like every single scene sets up a character. Like you see like Eva and her husband being like, oh, Battler, are you okay? And then like pause, and it's just like, and like the Greek chorus like chants her name and like which placement she is in the family, and how like on the meanwhile like Battler's like flailing like across the stage, like he's like, oh, like he basically falls on the ground, and then like how Rudolph immediately sits on his son, and it's so funny.
Yeah, he just sits on top of him and gives him like a little spank before getting back up.
It's so funny. It is so funny.
Rudolph, like I think the two people I think actually really embody their character is Jessica and Rudolph. Rudolph is just Rudolph. He's so good.
I honestly think the Rudolph in the stage play made me like Rudolph way more than like reading the end.
Just seeing him like physically like tease Battler and their like little like back and forth, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Rudolph puts his hands in his pockets the exact same way the sprite does.
Oh, actually, I noticed it watching last night, because I watched as a bit of a refresher. They do like a lot of their sprite poses, like multiple times. Yeah, like Kyrie is constantly like doing her like kind of like finger point like towards the camera thing, and she'll do her thing with like the arm across the body and like gesturing with the other one. Battler, of course, does his classic point.
Yeah, and Maria with the bag.
Yeah, Maria with the bag. Ava with her fan, of course. Like they all do their like actual like sprite poses like multiple times throughout their dialogue, and I just think it's really funny.
Yeah,
it's such a neat little detail.
Yeah, it really shows you the people who were doing this were not only like really putting the effort in, but it like I think it shows that they were also having fun doing it.
Yeah, I remember I watched the whole thing again, and I was thinking about like what if I were to adapt Umineko EP1? Like, what would I keep and what would I take out? And the thing is, I look at this goddamn stage play and I would be like, these are the exact things I would have taken out and like put in. Like, it's crazy to me how well this is adapted, because it basically shaves off like everything people think are like the fat of Umineko, but still keeping everything good about it. Like, all the scene setups are perfect. Like, they kept the scene of course, like, even I, like the canon even I scene, which is, you know, like, becomes instrumental to your understanding of Umineko. And then, or like, they keep like really small scenes, like they keep the whole scene where, you know, Battler is getting railed on by all the servants and Maria about how witches exist, like, and but like meanwhile taking apart like lots of like stupid dumb jokes or just like random talking, and like it still just makes it like so tight. Like, for a play for 3 hours, it feels like so like knit together. Like, there's like absolutely no fluff and like only plot. Like, it's pretty, like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
No, there's fluff, but the fluff that is there is really well thought fluff, which is the comedy.
And also, like, technically, like, some of that quote-unquote fluff is plot important when you're solving the mystery. Like, the Shannon scene when she enters.
Yeah.
Like, there's that whole, like, comedy bit of, like, no, you gotta punch me! But, like, that's like, literally, like, just, like, the canon scene is just, like, it's so important to your understanding.
Yeah, also I was gonna say, like, I remember I was watching this with Lerf, and Lerf was like, oh, look at those real fake boobs. Like, it's like, what?
Dude, Shannon's boobs look so fake, and I love the authenticity.
It's like those fake ass boobs. And I was like, what? And I was like, okay.
If you look at them, they don't look real.
I was also gonna say there's just like a lot of really just like such cool details. Also, the uses of projection, like in the very beginning, like all the projections are used for like people's names, and like later in the story, the projections are used basically for like locations and stuff, and it's like used so masterfully. Like, also, I will have to say, like, I am full-heartedly impressed by the fact of like how they did pacing for this fucking stage play. Like,
same.
Yeah.
It's really, really easy to basically say, like, the selling point of Umineko is the murder. Like, you know what I mean? They take their fucking time. They take an hour and a half to set up everything they need to set up. Like, the murder does not happen. Like, first murder discovery does not happen after the intermission. And that is showing restraint, and like that is masterful.
It genuinely is.
That like that reflects like the understanding of Umineko. Like that reflects, you understand that like Umineko is not just about the murder, it's about all of these people having like connections with each other, and like that's why murder hits hard, like, you know.
Yeah.
I remember I live because Mushroom, you helped me like understand what the heck was going on in some scenes where I didn't. So a friend of mine who was not like ready to like go in full visual novel, I streamed it for her, and I live translated it. And by the time like the first Twilight hit, because she knew it was a murder mystery, but the time the first Twilight hit, she had a moment of like, no, wait, I wasn't expecting to get attached.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm just sad now, like, Kyrie, no.
It's so good.
Just a testament to the stage play. Like, to get someone who has, like, not, like, participated in Umineko before, like, attached to these characters and, like, sad, like, about their deaths, like, when it happens. And heartbroken at the end when Natsu dies. Like, it's impressive. And it's really impressive also how they managed to do it, like, without cutting out, like, anything important.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to argue they cut out something that was important. And I wanted to bring that up when Mushroom said that. Because I think the letter scene is absolutely crucial. Like, the part where Maria is reading the letter happens.
The fucking...
But, like,
it happens.
That did happen.
But everything that happens after that
That
is not...
happens.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. The letter scene happens. What I'm saying is everything that happens after and before that. Like, you don't have the whole umbrella discussion. Like, I think that's really important and, like, really... a really nice scene.
They kind of...
No, the umbrellas, they do, like, oh, are you saying that they don't have the scene where everybody's hounding on Maria?
Yes. Like, when they're like, Maria, who gave you the umbrella? Beatrice, no. Who gave you the umbrella? Beatrice. And that's what makes the payoff of the letter so good. It's because you have that whole thing before, I think.
I mean, I think the stage play did this thing where like basically they try to do their best to do less screaming in the first half so they could do lots of screaming in the second half, and it makes like a good mood change, I guess. Like the only amount of screaming they have is like in the child iconic child abuse scene.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's the reasons why they chose to do it the way they are. I mean, I do think that scene is retained. They just don't hound her as much.
Yeah, because I think the thing in the visual novel you're supposed to be getting from that scene is like, it starts the whole like 18 versus 19 people debate where they're like, okay, if it wasn't like anyone like any one of us, is there like another person here on the island giving Maria the letter? But they repeat the same like point later on with Kyrie. So I think like the substance of that scene like isn't so much lost, aside from like the adults just being like, no, we don't believe in Beatrice, which they say like during the reading of the letter.
Yeah, to be a horrible person to the child. Yeah.
Why did they not use fishy aroma? Why did they not?
Okay. I have a really good. I have a good thing to say about that.
Okay.
I think the stage play is going for completely different vibes. That is also the same reason why they didn't use Golden Slaughter for the first body discovery. From the way how they did Tea Party, I like it's a very different vibe. Vibe of Umineko they're going for. Like the reason why Fishy Aroma makes sense in the VN is because sooner or later when you're playing Umineko, you realize like this is a farce in a way that like this is like funny witch trolling the family. Mm-hmm. But like when you're first playing Umineko, for example, when Dubs first played Umineko, when it played Fishy Aroma, he's like, why is it a fucking clown music playing? Like it's like it doesn't. It's like a complete mental dissonance, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. Of course, like the mental dissonance is supposed to serve us, like when you're reading the VN, because like you're reading like this horrible letter and like like promise of death and destruction, but like funny clown music is playing. But like I feel like that is harder to communicate when you're on stage. Like I understand like why they went for more like child reading letter. It's very scary. It's also the same reason why they didn't put like fucking techno dance music when the first body discovery happened.
I guess.
Yeah, for me it felt like the first half was trying to be like more grounded, like, hey guys, this is our classic murder mystery, like like it's spooky, it's scary, like it's suspicious, and then like by the time like not even like right away, but like midway through like this latter half of the play, they like start going hard. They drop the Golden Slaughter. Like by the time like Canon has this magical encounter, and like the more like bumped up like techno music starts playing, more like relating to magic, and I think that kind of hits really well.
I guess. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like a slow burn. I'm really happy that they basically made the stage play accessible to non-Umineko fans. Like, of course, like if you don't understand Japanese, but if you is able to sit a person down and get subtitles or get like people who understand Japanese, like the stage play is really accessible to like basically understand every plot point of Umineko, and especially like using like all of the original soundtrack. And I feel like for us, like it is disappointing that you don't get to hear Golden Slaughter, but like it's makes sense. It would be like, I feel like they're trying to build up the bizarre factor of it. Like I talked about this with Lerf when we were watching the thing together. The speech that Battler says when he finds the body is also slightly different. If you remember, like, the VN, when he first sees the body, he just says, like, the most wacky-ass shit.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you remember.
I do remember that. That's, like, it was such a turn-off at the time. Why did Ryukishi think that was a coherent thing for someone who just saw 6 people get murdered to say?
Yeah, exactly. Which Ryukishi does so much better in every other EP from then on, but like that's also why they changed that speech. Like, for example, when we get there, my favorite thing about that speech that they kept in is like when the first murder discovery was happening, there's words that are projected in the background and they're flashing, and they project the key words of the scene of the monologue he has in the VN. So for example, words like anime, manga, only in movies, everything is rotting. They don't have any faces. My father, my mother, or my father, Kirie and Nesan, like all this stuff is flashing on screen. So like it's a way more masterful way of cutting that scene down, if that makes any sense. So like it's just not just like Battler wailing on stage and also saying the stupidest shit possible.
Okay.
Yeah, like Battler like has a breakdown and all the stupid stuff is internal, which is where it's where it should be.
Okay, well, you earlier you mentioned the projections, and I just wanted to say my favorite projection was the butterflies when Natsuhi was fighting.
Oh, the butterflies is done.
Yes, the butterflies.
The cannon butterflies was also really good. Yeah, cannon
Yeah,
butterflies.
yeah.
Another thing I was gonna say, I love all the projections of the inside of the fucking mansion. Like for example, look like this shot right now that you can see, the guest house projection for the walls look identical to the VN walls. Like the PS3 walls. Like look at it, it literally is just the PS3 walls.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, this is amazing. And then another thing is, it's just like there's a lot of really good just like Jessica Battler things that they do that you really like get sold on the fact that they're all just like good cousins who are really good friends.
Yeah. Oh my god, Jessica made me like Jessica so much more. I would say Jessica is my favorite character in the play, to be honest.
Yeah?
She's so good.
Yeah. She's just so charming.
Yeah, she is so charming. Also, I wanted to say, like, whoever fucking plays Maria, like, how old is she? Like,
I think she's like 14, isn't she?
she is fucking amazing. Like the whole time. Like, I was, like, so fucking impressed. Like, so impressed by how good she is. Like, she kills. Like, she kills in every scene. Like, especially the latter half. Like, she goes hard. Like, it's, like, impeccable actress.
She is really good, though I have one small nitpick, which is she rushes the laughs. She needs, like, the laughs are an important part of Maria's creepiness, but she rushes the laughs, and it just kind of takes away a little bit of the impact of the laughs, of the creepiness factor. But that's my only nitpick. Everything else is amazing.
We'll watch it again, and then I can explain to you. It's fun. It's really fun. I think, like, despite of the fact that, you know, we all know EP1 really well, I think it's still really cool to know what they're saying. It's, like, really, really fun.
Yeah, but I don't need to understand what they're saying to have my opinion on the laugh. Or is, like, what's the translation on the laugh?
No. I'm not saying that.
I just mean, okay, so you know how Maria laughs, right? She goes like,
Yes.
But in the play, she goes like, and that's it. And it's just like, no, you need to live the laugh. You need to feel the laugh.
You gotta embody the Beato.
You can't get it over with that quick.
You gotta revel in it. Okay, I also want to say, like, there's amazing physical and, like, how they place all the characters. Like, so, like, if you see this, like, if you see this scene on screen right now, like, I would describe it, because I don't know if we want to use screenshot of the play, because because I don't think we're supposed to. So
I mean, we've done worse things and we've gotten away with it.
No. Like, I don't want to use it, because most people on Twitter who has been using screenshots has deleted their screenshots. So we're just not going to use it. It's slightly different than us hating on Go, like, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's not the point. So the scene, I'll set out the scene, which is that, like, these are all the adults talking to each other, and, like, it's really funny because it's Rosa standing in the background. It is basically Rudolph sitting on an ottoman, and he has the biggest man spread of the lifetime. Like, Natsuhi sitting in the corner with her little, like, hands on her knees and her, like, legs put in together, and then like Kraus also man spreading, and then, like, Lanjo looking like he's just gonna doze off and and fall asleep at any moment, and then, like, Eva sitting on another ottoman. And then I just remember I read a Japanese Twitter post about how much they love, like, how Eva sits in the scene, because you could see the back of her curve, but also, like, just, like, the way how she, like, projects her body movement. And, like, what's really cool about this scene is that, like, it really shows you the hierarchy of all these people, about, like, oh, how, like, Eva sits on one side to, like, corner them, and, like, Rudolph stands on the other side, and, like, Rosa just quietly stands in the background in the dark, And throughout this whole scene, Rosa never gets to sit down. Like, in this whole fucking scene, she just always stands. And then, like, there's another funny detail that happens, which is when Kraus stands up, Natsuki recenters herself on the sofa because now she has more space. Like, do you see that?
So good.
Like, it's just like hilarious because she's like, oh, now I have more space to sit. Let me sit in the middle.
She was being crushed by her man-spreading husband.
And it's also good because like it's also just like make them like it's just such a neat scene, and like it also shows you like basically the power dynamic of each of the characters, which is like Eva is always feel like comfortable sitting, and like Rudolph sits sometimes, but like Rosa never fucking gets to sit, and like none of the spouses are even allowed to be standing on the same platform as them. Like the way how they stage all of the scenes, like not to read like too much into it, but like it is crazy to show you like the hierarchy of each like person.
I agree, and it also just like speaks a lot to like how what they're thinking in the moment too, like how like Rudolph will like sometimes like get up and pace because obviously like the three younger siblings are trying to figure out how they're gonna swindle the older brother here. And I like Kyrie almost never moving from her spot over by the door because she just does not want to be here.
I interpret it differently. I think the reason Rosa didn't sit down isn't because she wasn't allowed to or couldn't, because there's clearly space in the sofa.
Yes.
I think she didn't sit down because she didn't want to be a part of the conversation. Let me just stay in my dark little corner until I get called into the conversation, which hopefully is not gonna happen.
She's probably really stressed out too because like she's gonna be having to stand up against Kraus. Even with like the support of her other siblings, like that's terrifying for her, I'm sure.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll let them do the work and I'll say words later.
And I think the reason Kyrie is like so far away simply because she's like the person.
She's observing these people like animals.
They are active characters in this discussion. Kyrie can stay out of it for a bit and think a bit without having to actively participate in the conversation. So she has that advantage and she's using her advantage.
Definitely.
I also, whoever fucking designed the stage lights for this goddamn play, like, it's so good. Like, how they decide to use, when are they going to use red lights? When are they going to use blue lights? When are they going to use purple lights? Like, oh my god.
It's so good.
Yeah, all of the Natsuki Eva scenes amazing. I don't know what to say. Like,
they both captured their characters so well.
Yeah. Eva's being like, well, I have this tattoo on my shoulder. What the fuck do you have? And it's just like, oh my god.
He has a mental breakdown moment, goes and sobs in her room.
Yeah, local MILF having mental breakdowns in a abandoned hallway.
Happens so many times.
I also love the spinny stage goes spinny wee wee wee. It's so good.
Yeah, whoever came up with that idea is a fucking genius.
Rotating stages are my beloved. They're so good, and I just love the chessboard pattern on it so much.
Yeah. And also how they do scene transitions. Like, it's so cool. Like, I love how they introduce each scenes, and it's just so cute. And you look at them having a good time doing picnic.
So good. I think one of my favorite, like, scene transitions is when everyone is at, like, Kinzo's door and, like, trying to get him to come out, and you have the stage rotate.
Oh, and the fucking stage spins.
And the curtain closes, and you don't get to, like, have, like, Kinzo speak or, like, address anything until like no one else is in sight and you can't hear them anymore.
Yes. Okay, I have to say this, sound cue amazing. Like every time somebody fucking knocks on a door and like air knocks into the like air, and then it has a cut, like so good. The knocking noises are amazing. Also, another thing I wanted to say that's amazing in the stage play is like, you know how like in Umineko, there's always like the opening of the curtain, closing of the curtain thing. And like in Umineko, you know, it's just like shows you like a scene transition. But now it actually makes sense because there's actually a stage and there's actually curtains.
Wow.
Umineko was made to be a stage play.
It came back full circle.
Also, now we can finally talk about the child abuse scene. What's your first thoughts when you saw the child abuse scene?
Rosa didn't have to go so hard.
Yes!
She slapped her so much! Like, god
geez.
damn, she was going ham.
Also, like, that screaming is, like, like visceral, like
tearing
it's, like,
out her vocal cords.
primordial, like fucking screaming, like that. Like I was like literally mortified when I heard it. Like it like trigger fight or flight in like response in my fucking brain.
Trick or fight or flight.
The rage in her face, like it just she went so hard. Like the way she like grabs Battler and they like zoom in on her face and you could just like see
Yes.
all of the like distress and like anger and just like, oh my god, like Rose's actress is so good.
Yeah, and also how she laughs. She's like, she's like, what do you think about her? Like her, like, have doing the ooh, and Balor's like, I think she's cute. She's like an elementary schooler. And she was like, you think this is fucking cute? Like, you think this is funny? Like, you know, like, she doesn't have any friends. Like, this is why she gets bullied. Like no fucking elementary schooler should be like that. And she just fucking pushes Balor.
Balor fucking collapses.
Yeah, and like the way how she turns around and how she picks up the bag and throws it at her.
She starts beating her, like throws her bag at her, like, Jesus, Rosa.
Yeah, and I also love the fact that, like, I think it's a really masterful way that they stage it in a way that makes her silhouette cover, like, all of Maria's. So, like, she's beating Maria, like, her back is turned to us, so you can't even see Maria. Like, it's just so cool the way how they stage it. Because I feel like in, like, a lot of fights in stage plays, like, you know, that you just, like, see, like, a profile shot instead of, like shown from the back, but like it really shows you like Rosa as an adult like beating up her fucking child, and her child is just cowering on the ground.
Yeah, and like Maria's just like so small, you can like barely like make her out. Like it's just like, God, it's so well framed. They do such a good job with it, and Maria's actress does so good too.
It's so good. She's like I'm gonna go find it. I'm gonna go find it by myself, and you're like, wow, this is so upsetting.
Yeah.
And and also like when Rosa comes back to like scream at them about how she can't find her daughter, also amazing. Like she just, all the screaming is so good. I mean, this is when the screaming starts, but like she like also does the whole panic crying thing really well. Like she like starts apologizing like profusely, and she's like, oh, I'm the bad mother, blah blah blah. Like, and she just like the way how she collapsed on the ground and she clutches to her daughter, like,
Yeah, she threw herself to the ground. She's not like falling in a way that she's trying not to hurt herself. She just threw herself to the ground, like not a care in the world.
yeah.
It really shows you how desperate she was to find Maria.
It's also, I love how they do, how do I say, like, they turn the key, like, even though there's no door, like, it makes you feel so, like, in the scene. Also, Kiria explaining to Battler how to reason while the chessboard is spinning.
So good, and they have like the chessboard projection in the background. When she snaps, it like flips over.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the fucking snapping. I was going insane. Why they snap so much? Just getting cringe, to be honest. Like, I was like, if he snaps one more time.
Because she says, let's switch the chessboard, and she snaps.
No, yeah,
and then-
it makes sense. It makes sense here. But Butler snaps so many times.
Because he's flipping the chessboard around. That's like his main move. It's like the only move he has in episode 1. Give him a break.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like the only way he can think.
But he didn't need to physically snap.
It's really funny because my roommate literally told me the story about how when she was reading Umineko, she was like, if Battler says let's flip the chessboard around one more time, I'm gonna fucking like lose my goddamn mind.
She's gonna snap?
That never happened to me on the VN, but it happened to me so many times on the play.
Well,
Because it's just it gets such a focus.
It's more condensed. I mean, you'll probably lose your mind if you're reading the manga too, because it also happens a lot in the manga.
But it like my problem with the play is not, it's the frequency, but it's the frequency because it gets such a spotlight. Like he could just say, let me turn this chessboard around and keep going, but no, the whole play stops.
But it's really important, you know?
No, but it's really important. But
It's like an audience signifier. It lets them know, like, okay, we're in like theorizing territory. Like, everyone pay attention, you know?
Theorizing.
okay, then let me give you a suggestion for a middle ground. He says, when we turn the chessboard around, he snaps and the audio for the snap plays. But take out the whole thing where the play stops and he turns to the audience and he does his little cringy pose. You know, take that all the shit out. and I'll be cool with it.
Des, it's fine. Des, I disagree with you. It's just because you don't understand what
That's what Battler does in the VN. Battler like literally like points at the camera and he's like objection, like Phoenix right pose, like
Yeah, exactly.
Not always. No. Butler doesn't do that always. Like most times he just says, "Let me turn the chessboard around." Like you don't try to convince me that the whole thing with him pointing happens every time.
Des, I'm gonna start gaslighting you now to tell you that you don't remember EP1 that well, so now you have to go back and read EP1.
you gotta reread if you want.
No.
Okay, I also want to talk about my favorite thing about Kirie being nice to Battler, them having a moment, and then having Rudolph being like, "I'm gonna die tonight," like just like in
The dramatic thunder.
Oh yeah, the dramatic thunder, very good.
So good.
There's like another scene that I really love, which is the part in when all the three cousins are sitting down and they're like, "Hey, like, I wonder what's gonna, like, you know, I'm glad we will have enough time, like, to, like, you know, hang out more tomorrow and blah, blah, blah." And then suddenly the scene pauses and in the background you could see the projection of 6 people are going to be sacrificed tonight, like, or something. It's, like, really cool. Like, how they did it. It's, like, just very neat, amazing, really setting up the tone. Okay, what's your, what did you feel when they finally got to the body discovery, like, or you know, when they did the huge projection of the shed?
I fucking love the shutter, the way they did that, how it like moved in sync with like Canon opening it, and like how huge it was too, like the sense of scale,
like the blood red like color that soaks through everybody. Like, oh, that's such a cool like way to do the projection.
Yeah, and the way the corpses were displayed also, I think it was a nice arrangement. It really looked like someone just dumped the corpses there.
So Lerf and I were talking about this. I guess we were both watching on 720p first, and then I got to see the 1080p version. But like, Des, do you know how they did all the fucking corpses?
Oh, it's like, I think I saw an image of that on Twitter. It's like, just tell me about it. Just tell me about it.
So it's like a horrifying meat mask, and it looks so fucking horrifying.
Yeah, like when I first saw the scene, I was like, oh, like they probably like used like, you know, like dolls like dressed up in the same characters, because that's like typically what you do, because like especially if you're having like a dead body on screen, like you don't like, you know, like it, plus it's easier for like the face like stuff. Like I just expected they were going to like have like a mannequin of some sort. But no, those are like genuinely the people, like the actors laying there with their terrifying little meat masks that they made like for like only like what 5 minutes of like the entire play.
Yeah, I think this breaks knocks. I thought there couldn't be fake corpses, but the actors are still alive.
Valor walks in and is like, "Kirie, are you still breathing?"
Yeah. So like I just like the Battler's reaction to this scene is so much better. You know, it's just a lot of crying and screaming. Oh, there's so much screaming. The way how Jessica screams was scary as fuck. And also like I also love how, you know, like Natsuhi blocks them off and like all that stuff, and like all the just it's just done so well. And then like the curtain opens up and it's like, ah yes, and them bodies.
Yeah. I also really when I was like I was initially disappointed that I didn't get Golden Slaughter, because that stuff's bumping, but I do like the music they used and like the tone they went for. Just like you really feel Battler's devastation. I feel like you feel it like slightly more here than you do in the visual novel, just because like Golden Slaughter's playing, it's bumping, he's talking about nonsense a little bit, but here's just like, man, he is so like heartbroken.
Yeah.
I just wish the music was louder. Sometimes you can't even really hear the music. I think it could be louder.
I mean, like, you don't want to drown out the actors, especially because it's like hard to project. I don't know like how well mic'd they are.
Yeah, I know, but it could be a little bit louder, I think. Like sometimes the scenes don't exactly give me the energy I think they should be given because the music is so low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, I just love the projection. The projection is so cool. Like, and like how George and Battler just collapse on each other crying is so good. And I love how they basically like, when like after intermission, they basically show you what it looks like. Of like, oh, this is how all of the rooms and like these are where everybody was and so on and so forth. Now there's just like such cool ways where like the story just keeps going and, you know, light starts changing and this is the latter half. Like after intermission, this is where everybody starts screaming way more, like constantly all the fucking time.
Yeah, now that we got to the murders, this is one thing where the play just has no choice but to deviate from the VN, which is in the VN you can solve the mystery two ways. You can solve it through the emotional side or through the actual mystery side, because there's this closed room scenarios that are only solvable by magic supposedly. But in the play, it's kind of hard to portray that side, because in the VN you can take notes, you can go back to reread certain things to know exactly the layout of the rooms. You can't do that. You can't exactly do that with the play. I guess you can now with the video, but like that's not the original medium.
Yeah.
So if you're going through it for the first time, I think it's kind of discouraging to try to solve the mystery. So I also think that's what they're trying to do with the play, is they're focusing heavily on the emotional side, because they know that's the only way the mystery is gonna be able to be solved, basically.
I will argue that they did like a pretty good job presenting like the physical clues, especially like in regards to like who the culprit is. I'm pretty sure like most people going to like sit down and watch a play aren't like going in there being like, I am going to solve this stage play, and they like take their little notepad. But I do think that if you do, it's possible.
Well, but solving is an integral part of Umineko, so it's not like you can dissociate the two.
It is, yeah, but like if you don't know what you're getting into and you're like going to see this.
Yeah, I was also gonna say Umineko EP1 is not where people start solving Umineko. Like, you know, like people don't start thinking about solving Umineko until they're like halfway through EP2.
That's not true.
It depends on the person, but I agree. Like, I didn't think about solving Umineko until like I started getting like red truths thrown at me, and I was like, oh wait, like there's like stuff I can do. Like I can think a little bit.
Yeah. Also, on another random note, I was gonna say what I love about the stage play that the stage play does really, really well is how they display time and place. Mm-hmm. So, like every scene where anybody shows up, it gives you a digital clock of like what the time is and where they are, and then they show you who's in that scene. And that is a really good way to basically keep track of everybody and where they are. And the stage play actually tells you like how long does it take from like you go to get from the guest room to the main house and so on and so forth. Like that, those are all really cool details. And of course, like when you are at like a stage play, you don't have your little notepad because it's dark and you like you can't write things, and you know you're getting swept away by the emotion. But like they do a great job preserving all the hints that you need.
Yeah, like I think they have like the basic mystery hints.
Yeah, unlike the anime, they don't accidentally have Shannon and Ken in the same scene where Battler sees them. So
yeah, I really like the way they like hid Shannon's corpse, especially because like the play is like dark and stuff, and you can't really like see all what's going on there. So like you can't tell if they're just like, you know, like standing there and like Shannon's corpse is amongst them, but you just can't see it at your angle, which is like exactly what, you know, like Battler and George are kind of going through, where they're like, oh, we just can't see your corpse from this angle, and you kind of get that same feeling like as an audience member, where you're like, oh, I guess Shannon's also there. I don't really see her from where I'm sitting though.
Yeah. I think, like, when you're reading a VN, you either find Maria to be extremely fucking annoying, or you find Maria to basically be in the right, or not be in the right, but, like, or people basically would find, like, people abusing Maria to be bad. Like, for example, like, you know, like, I've talked to other people, and some people were thinking, like, you know, all these people are being too harsh to Maria. Like, if they spoke to her better, like, maybe they would understand, or blah, blah, or something. I feel like the stage play put me in perspective of like how fucking devastating is everybody, and like how Maria just does not care.
Yeah, I completely agree with that point of just like everyone's like devastated, and like, you know, like even like Natsuki gets to a point where like she's like pointing a gun at Maria. Maria's just like laughing, like walking like straight up to the gun. What it also put into perspective of me is just like how fucked up the scene in the study is when Natsuki kicks everyone out, because she really just kicked out all the old people and the child. And like you just see that and you're like, oh man, like she just sent these people out for the slaughter, like you know, the people that can't defend themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we got to that part, I was watching the scene and I was like, haha, I wonder how they're gonna place the ladder down in a medium like this. I think they nailed it.
They did like you can't really see who did it. Like obviously like stage magic, it's dark. You're focused on like the three like quote unquote four like culprits like surrounding like Battler and his thought bubble. And I'm pretty sure like like Nazi or someone like placed it there stage play wise. But like it like spins around and they just like go back to their positions. Suddenly like the letters there and you're like, well, where'd it come from? It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I like how Des was really annoyed when he first saw the scene. He's like, why is everybody clowning on Battler? Like, what is happening here?
Yeah, okay, to describe the scene, Butler's on the ground and Maria, Kanon, Kumasawa, and probably Genji, are just like booing Butler, I guess. I don't remember that happening.
No, they're just like, it's like, it's the witches exist scene. It's like the whole scene where Battler stands there and they're like, oh, like, Beatrice is in this room right now. She is right behind you. And Battler's like, what? And she's like, look. And they just like...
But they don't do that. That's so out of character.
Well, no, I don't think this is what physically is happening.
You could argue this isn't what's physically happening, but is that well communicated to the audience?
It is. It's the light changes.
The light changes, and you kind of get the vibe.
The light changes all the time.
Yeah, but like specifically, like kind of like Battler thought, like that's kind of like the lighting ambiance you get when he's like in his like thinky like moment, like suddenly like the red light comes in and it's just like something's off now.
Yeah, you have to speak this language of the stage. There's a lot of things in stage plays that they're just like you, of course you can't do like the thinky thought bubbles parts or like all that, so that's why they use lighting changes to indicate like this is a monologue.
But why? There's this universal indicator that this is happening inside someone's mind that every medium uses, which is reverb. Why did they not just use reverb? That would communicate it so much better.
What? That's fucking stupid. What?
No, it's not.
You gotta be able to understand your actors.
You can understand them with reverb too. That's what everything does.
No. But like, no. But like, think about it. Like, so like, oh god, Des. I'm not gonna argue with you about stage. Like, why stage?
No, you're just too infatuated with the play, Mushroom.
No, that is not true, Des. You are.
Yes, you are.
No. Okay, listen. I have done acting. I've been up on stage. I speak the stage language. Mushroom's correct.
Borrowing Furude Erika's words. Because of love, it cannot be seen. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Damn. I think that the lighting does a really good job of telling you what's when something is off. Like there's like a clear like lighting like mood in that scene, and suddenly when like they're like like staring at something behind them, the lighting goes slightly red and it just like it feels off. It tells to the audience there is something wrong here. And as they like like surround Battler, this is like what Battler's feeling, like they're like ganging up against him, like are they the culprit, are they conspiring against all of us? And when we get to that point where like like Maria like says her little line about Beatrice and like the charm that protected him, and he laughs, the lighting goes back to normal because he's like come back to reality, he's come like out of that thing, and he's like, no, there's no magic, they're fooling with me, and I'm back in my like normal thinking process, and we're back in
reality. So Des, for example, I will show you this scene.
No,
it's
fine. Mushroom, it's fine. I agree with you now. The lightning does indicate that. I just think it could have been better communicated. That's all.
It's okay, Des. Okay, let's talk about the 3 butterflies. What do you think?
Oh my god.
I'm so glad you brought those up because I took notes.
Okay.
Okay, what's your note?
I guess I've been trying to figure out in my little Umineko theory brain like what the heck they're doing here and what they represent. So I took note of every time they appear.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they appear first in the intro, which I'm not gonna count, like the whole cast does. They appear in the 18-19 people discussion, like flipping the chessboard discussion with Kyrie. They appear when Battler's having the conversation with Ava about like the potential culprit. Are there 18 or 19 people? Is the culprit Ava? The servants or Natsuhi? That whole talk. They appear with Ava in the bedroom when she's like doubting herself, and they're talking to her about like how she hated Klaus and how she's been just like treating her family shitty, just all of her insecurities.
Yeah.
And then they appear when everyone gets kicked out of the study, like separating all of them. They appear when Battler's researching the symbol that he found in the envelope, and they appear when everyone is like leaving the study to go save everyone. And I think I've come to a conclusion that they kind of, I feel like they represent the like the energy, like how do I put this?
The witch's influence.
Yeah, the witch's influence, I think, is like the best way to put it. Like the mystery of like whether she's here or not, and specifically the scene that with Ava in the bedroom kind of sold me about it, because they're talking about like, you know, like the hatred of Klaus and like how she wanted to succeed so badly and be the head, and that just screams like Ava Beatrice to me, like little Ava in her head.
Yeah,
Like you know, you could also say like the three of them representing like Shannon, Canon, and Beatrice, like the story they're crafting here.
okay. Well, I don't remember the three of them dancing around on the game board.
they're dancing in secret in the shadow. They're trolling Battler. They're laughing behind his back.
They're discovering the first 518 battles just in the corner, Fortnite dancing.
Yes, exactly.
that Canon in his mind just like sitting there like, Battler, you stupid, your family's dead. That's what you get. I mean, you didn't see her, so Shannon could be doing anything while being dead in the corner over there.
She's snapping to the rhythm of the music. I think the butterflies were kind of weird, to be honest. I think they took out a bit from the scenes that were supposed to be serious because they just looked so goofy. But that's my opinion. I know you're gonna disagree because of course you are.
Yeah, I am gonna disagree. Actually, okay, I have a few thoughts about the butterflies. So I like the fact that they're black butterflies, even though they doesn't necessarily like, it doesn't necessarily work with the color coding of like Beatrice as a person. And I was always thinking about this because I was like, it's really easy for like, you know, the costume designer per apartment or people who basically read Umineko to be like, yes, if we're gonna do butterflies, we have to do golden butterflies. I do have to say I liked how they basically executed to be black butterflies because it's very perfectly blends into the darkness, and like they basically come and go in a way that like it's like something moving in the corner of your eyes, but like it also doesn't take away all your attention.
What do you mean doesn't take all the attention? They were all I could look at when they were on screen. They just kept dancing. It was so funny.
Well, I don't know what to say. Like okay, Des.
I feel like if they were gold, they'd take up much more of your attention.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if it's gold, it will take much more. And the thing is, it's like because they're black, they could just like run into the darkness, and then you just don't see them anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
yeah,
like
okay.
Like stage play inherently is a goofy media. Like it's very, very hard to make stage plays not goofy in a way. Like not goofy, but like even the most serious stage plays are like inherently funny because of the media it presents.
They have to like overact so like everyone can see them, so their facial expressions are crazy. Their gestures, they go like they take your normal emotion and like times it by 10.
Yeah, exactly.
For a stage play, you really just have to like suspend your disbelief and just like kind of be like in the moment. Like everything is like metaphorical. Like there's no like consistent doors, like they use the curtains as doors and stuff like that, but it's a stage play, so you're like, you know, like I can buy this, like I can still be in the moment, even though like if I think about it logically, that's not what's going on in the scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think like that's how I see a lot of the scenes. It's not like, you know, some people could say like this is about love and me being charitable, but like I don't know, stage plays are just funky, and you work with limitations, and that's my personal thoughts. But
that's why they should have gone full comedy. I think the beginning part of the play was absolutely perfect.
Why would they go full comedy? I personally don't agree.
Umineko's a tragedy.
Umineko was just not made.
Yeah, Umineko is a tragedy. Also, I think the second half of the play is masterfully made. Like, they do, like, all of the screaming, all of the yelling, like, all of the arguments really well. Like, you could really see how devastated Balor is.
They do it really well, but it just doesn't work as well as the VN. I think it would be better.
That is not true, Des. That is not true, Des. I disagree. You are wrong.
I think it's just like a matter of opinion. Like as like an avid like watcher of stage plays and stuff, I just feel like you really just have to be in like the stage play brain for something like this to hit. I
went in no expectations. I was like, this is not gonna be my Umineko. I'm fully aware of it. I'm just gonna go in with an open mind. And then I was so pleasantly surprised by the first part. And then the second part was just like, man, you had it so perfect.
Okay, we're just gonna jump to the end. I love how Nazi gun scene, butterfly, amazing. There's nothing to say about it. Like, just
true.
purely fucking good.
Yeah.
I think Lerf and I agree. I think the Tea Party is done better in this than it is in the VN. That's my personal take. What's amazing about this scene, so this is something that I got to translate and it's really fucking good, and it's the scene where everybody is like yelling at Battler, and the things they yell at Battler is fucking amazing. So like
Really?
they basically are
Okay.
like, yes,
It's so cool.
Tell me.
so it's so good. So basically they're like, like I forgot who stands up first, and it's just like the who killed us, like, and then like the other, like Rudolph is like, don't you want to revenge my death? And then this is the fucking best part, which is Kiria steps up and Kiria says, I'm the culprit, did you forget about it? And then Rosa fucking screams out of the left field, says, I killed Beatrice. And then Eva-san says, the murderer is Natsuhine-san. And like, it is like, and all these people are like just basically like yelling at Battler, like while Battler is like running around on stage.
Yeah.
And like,
Hideyoshi goes like, it's an accident. Like everything was an accident.
yes. And then like, and then Natsuhi's like, Natsuhi's like, then who shot me? Who shot me in the end? And it's like, it's the emotion for that scene is like so good. And like, I literally like choked out laughing when I heard like Rosa yell like, I killed Beatrice, because it's so out of left field.
Okay, in regards to that scene, I think it was a really good idea, but I think it lacked a bit in the execution, because if it was swift, it was like, this person is screaming, then as soon as person A stops screaming, the person B starts screaming. As Batter goes from one place to another, it would have been perfect. But there's like this 1 second silence gap in between each person that after like 5 people, it just starts becoming goofy, because Batter just keeps going from one place to another.
Well, I mean, I
That's-
feel like you
that's-
gotta have like the time to process like what they said.
I think it's hard to hear. Like, even when I was watching this, I had to pause every single time to hear a line they say, because it's really hard. I mean, I feel like you might think it's okay. This is me being uncharitable to you again, so sorry. I'm just gonna throw you constantly under the bus.
I'm used to it. It's been what, almost 2 years?
Yes.
Christ.
But but I was gonna say, like, that scene might seem clunky to you because you didn't understand what they were saying. Like,
okay.
I think when I was seeing that scene, it was like exhilarating to me, because everything that everybody said was like another thing. Like, I literally just can't believe like Nazi said, I am the culprit. Like, why did you just say that, Nazi?
Wasn't it Kiria?
No, not Nazi.
Kyrie.
Like,
Yeah,
Kirie.
Kyrie.
Kyrie just said, I am the culprit. And I'm like,
Because of turning the chessboard around, you have to think like the culprit.
yeah, exactly.
I think that's why. Oh, okay. No, you said you didn't get it.
Or other reasons.
or other
Other
reasons, you know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Nudge, nudge. I remember Nanjo specifically goes like, I have a sick granddaughter at home, like, don't kill me.
Oh yeah, and then yeah. Nanjo yells, I have a sick granddaughter at home, don't kill me. I was like, that's the funniest fucking line. And like, people just keep saying things to him. It's like, oh, like, it's, I don't know, it's just such a cool way to do that scene. And then of course, like basically it's like, are you gonna solve this mystery? Like, why did you stop thinking? And then like, it's neat. It's very neat. Like, I like it. And then in the end, of course, like, it's the 3 cousins, and like George is like, oh, you know, like, don't want to tell anybody. And then like, or it's just like, somebody must have killed us. Like, a person must have killed us. And like, Maria is like, a witch did it, you know, of course. And then Jessica in the end says, it's like the same thing in the actual Tea Party, which is like, she's like, oh, don't give up, but don't doubt our family, which is, you know, the most fucking confusing commands of all time.
Classic Jessica.
And okay, also the Shannon and Cannon fucking thing is amazing. Like, they basically say something along the lines of Battler, because you're not satisfied, Battler-sama, because you're not satisfied, we now the story is going to basically go on like in eternity and over again until we get to the satisfying result. And then Shannon and Cannon turn to each other and shoot each other in the head, like with their finger guns, like the EP6 ending, like the most
not EP6 ending, the love trial.
Yeah, the love trial.
Yes, the EP6 love trial. And it's great because I feel like everybody on Twitter fucking lost their goddamn mind because of it. It's just such a cool scene. It's like
I was losing my mind.
Yeah, I pretty much had a smile throughout the whole play. Like, I know I'm being very critical of the play, but I really liked it.
Yeah, like overall, like honestly, like what little criticisms like we have, like they're not that like harsh. Like overall, like there's like not much to complain about. Like I feel like you just kind of gotta reach like, you know, like Maria not like going like full in with her laugh. Like it's a little sad, but like
Yeah.
considering like that's like just like one of like the like when thinking about complaints, that like little thing being like one of the only things that comes to mind, you know?
Yeah. Honestly speaking, I want them to get money and I want them to be encouraged to make more so I could see more ridiculous things.
I hope they make EP2.
Give me a way to give you money, Ryukishi. What the fuck? Like, you and everybody else who was involved. Like, please.
Yeah. To everybody who's listening, if you haven't able to seen the stage play, please go to your local Discord server. They probably have somewhere that it's saved up so you can go watch it. It's really worth your time.
Definitely is.
It doesn't matter if you don't know Japanese, but if you do, find your local friend to translate for you or wait for the subtitles to come out.
Yeah, I can give you the certificate that you really don't need to know Japanese to really enjoy the play.
Or just pull up Alki Archive while watching it.
Yeah, like as long as you remember EP1, you can follow it really easily.
About Beato pops up at the end.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We didn't even talk about her. Lol.
Since you like defending the play so much and you always have something to say, huh? Aren't you so clever, Mushroom and Lerf? Tell me, what is the significance between Beato just dancing 3 minutes straight? Like,
okay,
what was that about?
I actually have a theory for this, and it's part of the reason why the portrait doesn't show a face. I don't think they have an actor for Beatrice yet because they, you know, like one, they don't know if like they're going to do like EP2, and like hiring like someone for like only like 2 seconds like at the end is really not worth it. So I think what they did is they hired someone to like be like a placeholder. Like they had like one of like the crew members or like one of the butterflies maybe like come in, crew member, dance around as Beatrice, voice line over.
Yeah. I understand that much.
So they just couldn't like show her face or like her like anything. So just her like in the background, like her presence is there, but like she no real Beatrice.
I'm not arguing about that. Like, of course, if they don't have an actor, they're not going to show the actor. They're just going to show the silhouette, basically. My thing is, why did Beato have to be dancing? That was so cringe. That's what I'm like. No. Why?
Damn, you call Beato cringe?
She was having
a good time. She was trolling Battler. Like Battler was like losing his shit, and she started a dance battle like that.
She started dance
classic
battle.
Umineko nonsense. Yeah, she rose the dead to just have like an epic dance battle like against Battler.
Okay, speaking about, I will have to say I do really like the part where, you know, fucking ZT's music drops and she raised the dead by making them dance like puppets.
Yes, prison strip, let's go.
They stand up like puppets whose strings have been uncut.
Shut the fuck
up. I mean, to be fair, they do have the puppet moves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, sometimes I do love just quoting random Umineko lines to my unsuspecting strangers just to fuck with them.
So good.
I will have to say, the only thing I didn't actually like that much about the Beatrice scene, which I understand is a limitation, which is that because of the fact that Beatrice's voice is a voice actor voicing from outside, it makes like the boom mic effect makes her voice really hard to hear.
Yeah, it like reverberates a bit.
Yeah, it reverberates too much. And I understand it's supposed to be like, ooh, it's like ringing through the whole theater, but it's like a literally different type of sound that's coming out of her mouth than it's out of Balor's mouth. And it's just like fucking annoying. Like I literally couldn't understand half of her lines because of it's so like distorted.
Yeah, it's sad, like the distortion like kind of taking away from it. Like as someone who like didn't understand what she was saying, I like kind of liked the effect because it made it feel like she was like not real, you know, in like a good way, but like also like trying to like decipher what she's saying. I imagine that was difficult.
It could. But yeah. So besides that, what else? Yeah, that's
besides that, my biggest criticism of the play is Ushiromiya fucking Butler. Like, god damn.
What?
He was good on the comedy because he goes really extra, just like Butler does. But Butler can also be serious, and this motherfucker could not be serious. I was losing my shit.
Ooh, wrong opinion. Bad. Thus, I disagree. Fuck you.
I feel like he's really serious, especially in like the devastating scenes, like with his like parents dying, or like going to search for the culprit, or like, you know, like discussing his theory. Like, yeah, he's like a little extravagant, like when he's going through his thought process, and he has like his interpretive dance, like butterflies, like going through and like trying to explain his thoughts to him, basically.
Okay, but like for example, when he punches Maria, that's a really important scene, a really serious scene, and he just does it like he's like, aha, boink. It's just like, why? Couldn't you punch her seriously?
Well,
That's kind of how it is in the VN.
What? No, it's not.
He just like bonks her on the head.
Yeah, he does bop her. He does punch her on the head, but it's a serious punch.
no, I don't like the conceptual idea of like punching a child seriously anyway. You know, as we can know, child abuse is bad in general. I like the fact that they kind of just played it off as like, oh, it's a friendly bonk, not in a way that like, oh, I'm gonna beat this child up.
A friendly bonk? That's not what Butler was feeling.
I always interpreted it as a friendly bonk. Like, yeah, he was upset with her, but Battler's not the kind of person to punch a child. I feel
Yeah,
like.
exactly.
I feel like he just like gives her like a little like rap on the head to be like, hey, like you know like a little like tap, like
Okay.
not hard at all to get her to come to her senses.
I guess that's just we have different interpretations on the VN then.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, and I also think like Battler doesn't punch like Battler, you know, like he doesn't want to abuse a child. Like he sees child abuse as wrong. Like I don't think like
Okay.
I don't think it's a gotcha moment. What I'm trying to say is I don't think it's a gotcha moment when Battler punches like Maria to be like Ryukishi being like, ah yes, and then he was gonna help Maria, but now he's hitting her. It's more just like he's just frustrated. He wants her to shut up, but not in a now I'm gonna deck you way, but like in a bonk shop talking.
See, but from my interpretation, that's what even elevates the scene more, because earlier in the episode you see Butler not liking the fact that Rosa is fucking slapping Maria, but here he's like, I don't think he's straight up punching her. Like, I think he just hammered her head from the top, you know? But that just goes to show you how much stress Butler is in that he would hammer Maria. You know, that's why I thought this scene was important. But
I never like
if you interpret it differently.
Yeah. Battler always seemed like, hey, like Maria, like shut up, you're stressing us out, like bonk. But like I feel like Jessica was the only one who like actually got violent towards Maria, other than Rosa, obviously. You know, like because she
And Nazi.
she was
And
like,
Nazi.
she's conspiring against us, and she like actively went to like go beat up Maria, and they had to like hold her back. Whereas like the Battler, they don't gotta hold her back. Like he's not hurting her. Like she goes like like you know like I don't know, like I get like noogied by my like uncle and stuff like that. So that's just kind of like what I would interpret it as like this is unpleasant, but it's not like I'm like dying.
Okay, fair.
Okay. Besides this, is there anything else that we want to talk about? Do we want...
Yes, I have two more little thoughts and a question.
Okay.
Okay, first little thought is, oh my fucking god, Canon driving the little cart after the curtains close. God damn, I know Canon is supposed to be not skilled at anything, but god fucking damn, the way he's driving the cart gives me anxiety. Like, if you want, go back and like his posture is just so fucking wrong. How do you drive a cart like that? That's the most non-comfortable way of driving a cart possible.
Are you saying that when he pushes the dirt around and stuff, the wheelbarrow?
Yeah, after the scene ends, everybody leaves and then the curtains close and it's just Canon going from one side of the stage to the other.
Yeah, he's just bad at it. It's fine.
He's just a little weenie
So
guy.
bad.
He can't lift it.
Also, going back to the painting of Beto, even though there's no actress for Beto at this point, I think it wouldn't hurt to have just the regular Beto Ricci portrait we're all familiar with, instead of having a portrait without a face. That's just adding a plot detail that doesn't exist.
I mean, I like the fact that, okay, the thing about that scene, the scene is always really lit weirdly, so I couldn't, for the longest time, I couldn't tell if there wasn't a face or just like bad glare. I think like,
okay.
So like to me, I think it's also better when you're like in person, where you're like looking at a stage. Like you literally just can't really tell if you could see the stage, like see the picture, like face or not. Like for the longest time, I was like, is there literally no face on there, or is it because there's a weird glare, so I just can't see the face?
Yeah, that's what I was like at first, until I saw the miniature version of the portrait in Kinzo's study, and I was like, oh, there's no face. But like if you're in the audience and like looking back at it, you probably couldn't tell either.
Oh, there really isn't.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck, that's so stupid, because now you added a plot detail that means nothing. Unless they're Unless they're trying to say that, like, deviate, that would be interesting.
I think what it's supposed to be is like there's like a little bit of a glare, like that's how the audience is meant to interpret it. So like she's kind of shrouded in mystery, but they like like they address her existence, and if you look at the portrait, it's like a physical like picture of a person. They didn't use like the drawn version of it, so it just like they just didn't want to have a face of an actor there that they weren't going to commit to.
I guess. I still think they could have gone with the portrait from the VN, but oh well.
I agree, but I like understand why they didn't.
Okay, then I have a question for you. Do you think this version of EP1 is better than the original?
No.
No.
Okay, well,
No.
There's like so much.
that you were going so ham that I thought maybe you did.
No, duh. That's fucking stupid. Why would I think anything beats a VN? That's fucking dumb.
Dude, the VNs, like, this is like the best like adaptation of Umineko from the VNs that I've seen, like aside from like maybe the manga. But I don't read much of the manga.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe this rivals EP1 manga for me, but it definitely doesn't fucking come close to my love to the VN.
Yeah, the VN's just so good.
Okay, then a different question. You had to introduce someone to Umineko. Would you show them the play before giving them the VN?
Yeah.
I actually did that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's because EP1 is like such like a huge barrier to like jump over, like especially if you're not like a fan of slice of life, and also like Battler's being a weirdo sometimes. And also it's very, very long. So I think like this is like a very like easy like here's Umineko, this is what it's about, and it's digestible. It's like 3 hours, and like you can just get everything you need to know from it in like a really concise manner. And if you like it, you can either jump into EP2 or like reread EP1 and like know that it will get good and you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree that because I think I would usually recommend the manga as well, but like sometimes it's just hard to read a manga. So like
Yes. Okay. Well, is that all we have to say about the play then?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
all we want to say about the play.
Okay, do we want to cover Golden Week real quick then?
Yeah, just predictions for what they're gonna release.
Yeah, I don't know if I have much to say besides just my prediction because, I don't believe Ryukishi and I don't believe anything he says.
It's fine. I also don't have time, so we can make this quick. So, Mushroom,
Okay.
what do you think is going to happen after the Golden Week? What's going to get announced?
I think what's gonna be announced is Higurashi Ho Plus. That's what.
No, that's already announced.
No, Ho Plus anime.
Oh, what? What does that mean?
I don't even know, but they will figure it out.
they'll get
Okay.
more redemption Teppei in there. They'll have a spin-off series.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yes, I want that Teppei spin-off.
Yeah, like honestly speaking, like did anybody have an idea when they said they were gonna make Sotsu and Go? Nobody did, but they still made it, and so even if I don't know what they're gonna make, it's gonna be Higurashi and it's gonna be not good. That's my prediction.
Okay, Lerf?
All right. My hopeful prediction, which will never come true, is a good Umineko anime adaptation. That will never happen. I want to be hopeful and say Phase 2, but I highly doubt it. We're never getting Phase 2. I feel it's lost in the void in the 8MS.
I don't think I want an Umineko anime, because as good as it may be, I'm always gonna prefer the VN, and I'm gonna get mad when people watch the anime instead of reading the VN.
That's always the case, but anime is a good way to introduce people to the VN. Like I watched the Higurashi anime before getting into the VN, and that's how I got into it. So sometimes it's beneficial.
Yeah.
I think my most realistic prediction is I instantly forgot it. Brain dead.
Ryukishi went into your mind,
Ryukishi erased the prediction.
your prediction, because it was right.
Okay. I think my thing is they might like announce something like because I've heard like there's been like a lot of like good reception with the stage play, and I know the cast wants to do EP2, so they might like announce something like, oh, like we may be getting into like the works on that. Like I feel like that might be like a realistic thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be nice.
Other than that, no clue.
I want that. I can also place my bets on an EP2 play. I think I could realistically place my bets on Phase 2 as well, because COVID is theoretically ending. It's not. Every time they say it's ending, it's not ending. But I that could influence Ryukishi. I don't know.
Yeah.
So those are my bets.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's it, guys. We're end of the episode.
We did it.
Yay! We did it. All right. So do you have any socials you want to link, Lerf?
I'm gonna plug my Instagram real quick, my art Instagram. I post Umineko art there sometimes. It's Lerf draws.
Nice.
Hit me up. commission me. I'm broke.
Link's gonna be in the description as always.
Perfect.
All right, we hope you enjoyed the episode.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being on here.
Glad you were here. So yeah, see you again on when the next episode drops. See ya.
Whenever that is. Bye.
Bye.